Interesting developments in who Donald Trump might pick as his vice president. There's a number of lists out. They all have 5 people on them, but some of them are different than others. Yes, Sarah Palin is on one of those lists, according to Ben Carson. Now, Ben Carson claims that he's part of the VP selection process, which I think he is. But it sounds like he might also be in the running himself. Right after Indiana, I predicted it would be Ben Carson. But right now, most people don't think it is, and they think that it's the possibilities are Kasich, Rubio, and then you've got a couple of female Republican governors, one from Oklahoma, and then you've got Newt Gingrich on the list. Well, see, that's where it gets interesting. Now, you've got Newt Gingrich not only on the list, but he's on TV a couple of days ago talking about this issue, and of course, doing the humble brags, like, oh, no, golly gee, that's a very low chance, but let me tell you how brilliant I am. Right? So we've seen that movie before. And then all of a sudden, Trump has a meeting with Sheldon Adelson. Now, Sheldon Adelson is a multi-billionaire who runs casinos in Las Vegas and in China, and Macau. And wait a minute, Sheldon Adelson was an enormous supporter of Newt Gingrich back in 2012. In fact, gave him $30 million, pretty much financed his campaign all alone. And he had a real shot at Mitt Romney because of the money that Adelson gave him. Now, Gingrich has promised the moon and the sky to Adelson. Whatever you want, sir. Absolutely, sir. You would like me to crush labor? No problem, sir. You'd like me to be more right-wing than Netanyahu on Israel? No problem, sir. Can do, sir. Right? Then Trump comes out of the meeting with Adelson, and Adelson tells the press, I might give Trump $100 million. Now, here's 2 guys who don't mind making a deal. $100 million for a VP seems like a fair price. So, I mean, we're at this point in our democracy where all the politicians are being bought and sold anyway. Now, Trump, ironically, got into the position that he is in the Republican Party because he said, I'm not a bought guy. All the other guys have donors. In fact, he even criticized Adelson for giving to Marco Rubio during the campaign. But bygones be bygones, time for a new deal. Can Donald Trump really turn down $100 million for the VP who might be totally irrelevant? By the way, the answer is, I don't know. And the reason is, Newt Gingrich's ego is so gigantic that when that ego lands in Donald Trump's office, Donald Trump, who also has a monumental ego, it's very possible that those 2 egos will not be able to fit into the same room. That's part of the reason why I think it's going to be Ben Carson, because he's going to want someone who's basically asleep during the campaign. He's going to want a guy who goes, yes, Mr. Trump, you're absolutely right, Mr. Trump. Newt's not exactly that guy. So it might not work out in the end, but I would be very surprised if that wasn't the essence of their conversation. Well, Donald, I could give you $100 million, or I could sit at home. I mean, you make the call. I really like Newt. So those things are... The fact that he loves Newt is on the record. The fact that he's offered $100 million is on the record. And by the way, it's possible that Trump doesn't pick Newt and Adelson largely agrees with Trump and gives him the $100 million anyway. Or he doesn't. He gives him $10 million or $20 million. Sorry, Donald. I like you. I'm going to help you, like, certainly against Hillary Clinton. But you blew the $80 million because you didn't pick the guy I wanted. We didn't have a deal. This is the state of our democracy, where we have open bidding on who the vice president's going to be.